Hey guys, welcome back to this video. So in this video I'm going to show you how to build a complete Django authentication system in Django. So these are sign-in page. We have our sign-in page, we have our sign-up page, and also we have our forgot password page where a user can reset their password by just inputting their email here. So there's going to be a reset password link sent to their email. But for the purpose of this project, it's not going to be sent to the email, but rather it's going to be sent to my terminal. So just because of the testing, so we don't want to go through the stress of configuring our SMTP for email setting. But not only that, so I can even sign in with my Google account. So if I click Google, I'll sign in with my Google account, as you can see, or I can also sign in with my GitHub account. So let's just sign in. We also have our dashboard. So if I try to sign in my user now, like a sign in to a Gmail account, so here my password and I input my password, I also have a dashboard. If I click on sign in, it's going to sign me in, and I'm here. Welcome back. It gets my email, my name, and so you are logged in with the email that I put. So I can click on logout, and are you sure you want to log out? Yes, logout. Then I'm back to this my sign in page. So this is a complete Django authentication system in which we are going to break down in this video. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so now, and also help us by liking this video and probably leaving your beautiful comments in the comment section. Let's get straight into the video. So let's start by installing Django. But before we install Django, let us activate our virtual environment. So I'm going to say python -m vm venv env. So to create my virtual environment, I created my virtual environment. So now the next thing we want to do is to activate my virtual environment. So now I'm going to activate my virtual environment by running the command. So I will enter env/script/activate.ps1. So this is going to definitely activate the virtual environment, as you can see here. So now the next thing we want to do now is to install Django and some other couple of packages. So I want to install Django and Django Authentication. So to do that, I'm just going to run pip install Django, then Django. Please make sure you spell everything correctly. Django Allauth, like this, and then we are going to install requests. Then we are going to install pygwt, then cryptography, like this. So then press on enter and install all these packages. So it's currently installing, as you can see. So everything is installing. So this is currently installing Django Allauth, request, pygwt, cryptography, and all other packages we are going to need for this project are currently being installed right now. Now they are all installed now. So now the next thing we want to do is to start our project. So to start our project, I'm going to run the command Django admin start project. Now let's call this social auth demo, like social authentication demo. So I'll say social_auth_demo. Now then I'll put this period. So to start this project under this in this directory that we are, then click on enter. So sorry about that. So I'll click on enter. So now the next thing I want to do is to start to create an app. So python manage.py start app, and I'll call this account. Then click on enter. Okay, sorry, I didn't write this well. So python manage.py start app, then account, then click on enter to create the app account. So we are currently done with this. So just to test our app, let me increase this a little bit so you can see. Then after that, we are just going to run python manage.py migrate, so to migrate our database. Then after running this migration, then to create the database, we can just run server python manage.py run server. So let's, okay, so as you can see, and if I click this, it's going to redirect me to the server. You can see here, so we are redirected to this Django welcome test page to show us that we have successfully installed Django. So now let's start with our configuration. Let's start building our app in proper now. So I'm going to close this. I don't think we need this now, and let me just arrange my workspace. So now we already have this our app account, and this is our major Django project. So now what I want to go to now is to go into this my settings.py. So then in this my settings.py, down here in the installed apps, the first app that we install is this our account, right? So I'm just going to put it there, this our account, this app, this is what I'm saying. So then after that, we install some couple of other apps too, like OAuth, Django Authentication. Then after that, we also installed allauth.account, and also we install allauth.social account. And now there are some all social account providers that we want to use. One is the Google that we have there, and the second one is GitHub. So I'm just going to copy this. I'll copy this and paste it here. So in this providers of Google, I'm just going to change this to provider.github. So sometimes if you are using what's it called, let's say you want to use let's say Facebook, you want to use Twitter or X or anything, so you have to specify it in these installed apps. So after this, I'm just going to save this. Then the next thing we want to set is our middleware. So now I'm going to come down here in this middleware. I need to add another middleware here. So I always like to add it after this authentication. So we want to add our social auth middleware. So here I'm just going to say all auth dot account dot middleware dot account with capital letter A, account middleware, like this. Make sure you spell everything correctly. So with that, we save this. So if you come here, let's allow this to reload and see if you have any error. So it's reloading. So everything is working. You have 15 unapplied migrations. We are going to apply that now. So now the next thing I want to do now is that let's call to this our urls.py. So in this my urls.py, so here I'm going to have URL pattern, some other parts that I want to set. So now the first part is going to be, let's say, account. So when you want account / like this, we are going to include after you let me import it up here. I'm just going to say include, then I'll be able to use it down here. So include, what are we including? First, all auth dot urls. Then after this, make sure you spell it right. All auth dot urls. Then after that, we are also going to include, we are also going to add another part, the accounts dot urls. So accounts dot urls. Then I think something is not right. I didn't put comma here, so that's why I'm having this error. So now here I'm also going to have like an empty string first. So we are going to have an empty string first, then put comma, then I will have accounts.urls, and remove this. I'll have to put this in include. Sorry, let me just remove this and rewrite it. So part is just going to be an empty string, then we are going to include accounts.urls. Now the accounts that I'm saying is this accounts that we have here. This is our app that we have here. So let me just create that new file. So then we are going to have urls.py like that. So now let's just say here from Django.urls import path. Then after that, here let us have some URL patterns, so like this. So although we are still going to have some URLs there, I just set it up like that. So let me close this first and let me close this. So now let's just apply our migrations and just see what we have. So when I come down here, sorry, when I come down here, let me bring this down, and let's see, is our server still running? Okay, so now I think we're having an error. Let's see. Let me just let me close this server and run python manage.py run server again. Okay, so everything is working fine, but before we continue, let me just run my migrations first. So python manage.py make migrations. Okay, no changes detected. Let's just migrate then. So python manage.py migrates. So to apply those 15 migrations. Alright, so everything we have applied those migrations for our social accounts. So let's run server and see what we have. So if I come here, I'm just going to have a like page 404 error because we have not set up any URL. But what I just want to show you is that when we come when we come here /account /login, okay, sorry, /account /login, let's see, it should be account. So you see what I'm saying, we have this custom Django made sign-in page. So this is the sign-in. You see, we have not even created any templates, but we already have a sign-in with forgot your password, remember me, everything set up with for us. So if I come /account / let's say sign up, so we have this our sign up page made for us even without creating our templates. So this is how Django All Authentication works. We don't need to define any custom views. Everything is already installed and everything is already configured for us. So the only thing now we need to do is that let's change the way this template looks. So let's design this template. So for the purpose of this video, I've created some beautiful templates for us that we can use, and it's already in my GitHub account. You can check the link in the description to go there. So now I'm just going to go to my GitHub now, copy the GitHub link, and then clone those templates into our Django project. So let's do that now. So look at this my GitHub page. So these are the templates, social auth templates, and this is the link here. So you can just check the description also to find the link. So now look at it, you have this dashboard, login, logout, password reset, and sign up.html. So everything that we actually need are here. So now I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to copy this link. Then we'll come back to my code. So in my Visual Studio Code, let me cancel this first. So I'm just going to create a new terminal right here. So make sure you create a new terminal. So, but before then, so now the next thing I want to do is that I want to create a new template directory. Note, I'm not going to create it in either this account, I will create one in this account, but the one I want to use, that social authentication, this Django Allauth is going to see, must be created in the same place where you have this your manage.py. So let's create a new directory here. Sorry, not in, let me come here. So in this place, let's create a new directory. So in this new directory, let's call it templates. No, I don't want it here. Let me delete this first. So sorry. So here I'm going to create a new directory, a new folder here like this. Then I'll say templates. Look at how I spelled it, templates. Then inside this templates, we are going to have another new folder, and we are going to save it like account. Make sure you are following these steps like this. So then this is where we are going to clone all those files into. So let's do that now. So here, let's just cd into templates, then cd into accounts, then just git clone and paste your URL into this and clone it right here and press enter. So it's going to clone all those files into my template folder. So as you can see, they are all here. So with this now, if I just come back here and okay, let's just go back to our browser and see. And let me come back to this my sign up page and just reload it. Okay, the reason why it's not showing now is that we have not loaded that social authentication tag in our Django template tag. So let's do that now. Oh, I just found out why it is not working now. Let me just expand this my sidebar very well. See, here it creates template account, then social auth template. What I use it to save it in my GitHub account. So that's my own error. I was supposed to save it as account directly. So what we just need to do now is like to select everything. Sorry, Control Z this. Sorry. So I just have to select everything that I have here. Sorry, let me select it. If I select everything like this, and then cut it from this place, then paste it right here. I'm going to paste it inside this my account. Then let's just delete this social auth templates that we have here. We don't need it. So with this, so now let me continue. Let's see, it's deleting it. So now what I just need to do now after that is that here I'm going to come here and say load this Django. I'll load my static file. So I'll just say load static like this. Then after that, we are also going to load social account. Load social account like that. So with this, I save this. Then after that, I'm going to come back to this my settings.py. In this my DRS directories, so I'm going to say base underscore directory, then slash these templates that we have here, templates like this. Then after that, I'll save this and allow this to reload very well. Let me come back here. So it has reload well. So then come back to my browser. Let me go to my sign up page, sign up like this. So it should change back to these templates that we have here. Then in the same way, if I go back to my login page, so this is the template, everything will automatically change. So that is the beauty of all authentication. So these are just dummy data. So now before we continue, we have this sign in with Google and sign in with GitHub. So let's configure that before we continue our social authentication. Let's do that before we continue. Now let me come back to this my VS Code right here. So before we just set up our social authentication, let's just make the login and the sign up page really work well. So first, there are some couple of things that we need to do. So after this my middleware, so now let's just see this is called, let's say, Django Allauth configuration. Let me just comment it here and I'll say Django Allauth configuration. Since we don't have settings, so since we don't have like our custom views design, so all our configuration about how the registration and the sign in and sign up page should work is going to be done in the settings. So what am I saying? So let's say I come here. So now the first thing I want to do is that the authentication method should be email, not username. So I'll say account underscore authentication underscore method. I'm going to set it to email like this. Now the next one is account underscore email underscore required is going to be set to true. Now also I'm going to have account unique email so that you cannot use one email or multiple email for the same account. So you cannot use an email that has already been used. So that's what this means. Account unique email, I'm going to set it to true as well. So now after that, now this is just for the mail configuration. So now the next thing is the username field. So we want our account to have username as well. So I'm going to say account underscore user underscore model underscore username field, username underscore field is going to, we are naming it username like this, username. Now after that, we are going to also have account username required should be set to true. Account username required should be set to true. So instead of email here, I'll say username, and then we're going to set it to true like that. So now the next thing we want to do is account sign up field. So the sign up field, so account underscore sign up underscore fields, underscore fields are going to be an array of fields. So first we are going to have our username, username like this. Then we are going to have email, then we are going to have the password 1 and password 2, the first password and confirm password 2 like that. So now the next thing now is that we don't want account email verification, so I'm going to set that to none. Account email underscore verification, I'm going to set this to none like this. So now the next setting that I want to, this none should not be this, it should be none like this. Now don't worry about all this configuration. The next configuration is just our login redirect URLs. So the first one, I'm going to say login underscore redirect underscore URL. After a user has successfully logged in, it should redirect them to the dashboard like this. Now after that, the logout redirect URL, logout underscore redirect underscore URL is going to be the login page and is the account underscore login. So when you log out, it should redirect you to the login page. Then the next one, account underscore logout underscore redirect underscore URL should also redirect you to the login page, the account underscore login page. So these are just some of the settings that I want to set for this our app. Now another thing is that since we want to have we don't want the account to like automatically, after you sign up, we don't want you to go to the login page. So after you sign up, it should just like redirect you to your dashboard directly. So I'm going to say account underscore sign up. So this setting is just to set up how we want this authentication procedure to be. So I'm going to say account sign up underscore auto underscore login is equal to, so here I'm going to set it to true because we want it that after you sign up, you should be automatically redirect to, you should be automatically logged in after you create account. You don't need to create account then go and log in again. So when you create account, you should automatically log in. But if you don't want that, you can set it to false. So now the next thing is that so for our social account, okay, we'll come back to that later. So for some other stuff, let's say our account, just to see, let's set this, although it does not really matter yet, but let's set it first. So account underscore authentication underscore method underscore case sensitive. So when you are authenticating yourself, when you are creating an account or when you are logging in, do you want it to be case sensitive? So it should be case insensitive. So we want to set it to true. We don't want it to be case sensitive. So I'll set this to true like this. So if you log in the same detail, even if you're on your caps lock or you don't on your caps lock, it should still log you in. Now what else? I want it that our account should preserve the username casing. No, we don't want that. So account underscore preserve underscore username underscore casing, we are going to set this to false, like that. Now the next one, account password main length. The minimum password should be at least of 8 characters. So I'll say account underscore password underscore main underscore length should be 8. So with this, we are basically done with our settings, although there are still some things we'll come back for. So let me just save this first. So now I'm going to go to my login.html. So in this my templates, login.html. So up here, first thing, like what we did in the signup.html. So here I'm going to say load static in case of any static files that we have, although we don't have none. So then after that, I'm going to load social accounts. Load social accounts like this. So now we have load our static and we have load our social account. So let's start working on our forms. But before that, let me just reduce the font of this thing. So let's make it our screen smaller so we can see everything very well. So in this my form, the first thing I want to do is I'll say form method. Form method should be post, and then we want to give it action also. So this action is going to be load your Django template tag, then URL, and inside is going to be account underscore login. So anytime they click on the login button, it's going to log in the user. So this is like from Django social accounts that we've set up. So then the next thing we want to work on is this our label. Now in our label for email, but before that, anytime you in Django, we must set our CSRF token. Don't let us forget that. CSRF underscore token, like that. So CSRF underscore token. Then let's work on the first input, which is our email. Now label for email. So label for now, I'll change this to ID underscore the email there. I'll change it to ID underscore login. Then after that, I'm going to add, okay, we already have our class, that's all. Let's come back to this input. So in this input as well, our ID should be the same thing, ID underscore login. Now the type is email. Then after that, I want to give it a name, and the name should also be email, like that. Then after that, we are going to, sorry, the name should be login. Then we are going to give it a value. Let me save this so you can just, my prettier code formatter has formatted. So then I'll give it a value, and this value is going to be like the value in case, for example, you should remember the password, someone's like a username, so you can put the username there. So it's just as if, sometimes you want to log into some app, and the app will already, maybe you have logged in before, it will recognize your username and just put it there for you immediately, even without you typing it. So that's what this value is for. Now that value is going to be form.login.value, or if none, so the default should be, it should be default if none, like that. And also if the default is if none, we just want to leave it as an empty string like this, and make sure you use single quotation. We use double quotation for this. So that is all for that. In this my class, the first thing I want to do is that I want to anytime there's an error in the login, you should show the border to be red, or else it should be gray. So to do that, I'm just going to say here, I'm going to have an if statement. If form.login.error, errors like this, then border should be red, the background color should be red, a variant of like 500. Don't worry about this Tailwind utility class. Then I'll have else, the border should be gray 300. So let me just copy this border, cut this first X, and paste it here in beginning of this. then this border grid 300, I'll cut it, and okay, sorry, it should be here. Then after that, I'm going to end if. So I'm going to end if the if statement. Now the next thing I want to do is that, okay, I want this rounded LG to still stay. Then after that, I just want to have focus. When it is focus, that means when it's clicked is an CSS pseudo class. Then outline should be none, and that is all for that. Now after that, the next thing I want to do is that if there is an error, form errors, so we want to display a form error down here. So here I'm just gonna say if form dot login dot errors like that. Then I'll have a p tag, like this. Then inside the p tag, let's give it a class name, a class. I'm using TailwindCSS, so I'm just gonna say text red, then the variant of red, let's say 500, and text XS extra small, and then I'm going to give margin top to be 1. Now what is the text that's going to be here? I'm just going to pass in form.login.errors.as_text, and also we are going to put this asterisk there, like this. Asterisk, this star, like this. So now this is just our form errors. So how to get our form error? Then after that, don't forget we have to end the if statement. So here I'm just gonna say end if, like that. So now the next thing we want to do is our password field. Now this is our password field here. Let me just comment it. So I'll say password field. Now in this password field, the same thing. So the ID, it should be ID_password. The type is password. Then let's give it a name. The name should also be password, like that. Then okay, required. Now in this class name too, we want to do the same thing that we did up there. So let me just see, maybe we should just copy this class that we have here and paste it right here. So I'm just going to paste it right here. So with that, let's save this. What is there? Okay, now in the same way, I'm going to copy these form errors that we have here and paste it at the end of this input. So at the end of the input, we are going to have this. Now if form dot password error, in this time around, not login error, password dot errors, then we are going to have form dot password dot errors, like that. So let me run server. So python manage .py run server. The next thing is that let's work on this forget password. So it's already done. I just want to put this hyperlink reference. So where are we linking this to? We are linking it to the account reset password. So I'm just going to say put your percentage like that and your URL. And here I'm just going to put account _ reset _ password, like that, and I'll save it, and that is that. Now the next thing is this our submit button. Now in this our submit button, everything is done. The only thing we just want to do, okay, I think we are done with this page like this. Let me go. I think we are done with this login.html. So let's go into our signup.html. So in this now, so the first thing first, I'm going to come here. So in this form, I'm going to have form method, which is going to be post. Form method is going to be post, and then this is also going to have action, and the form action here is going to be just like the same way there. So it's going to load your Django templates tag, then URL is going to go into account _ sign up instead of account _ login, but here is going to be sign up, like this. Then the next thing we want to do is that after this we must put our CSRF token, That is very, very important. Then we are going to work on our ID. So this label should be label for, let's give it ID, label for, which is going to be ID underscore username, like this, username. Then in this input text type, it should be text, and name should be username. Let's give name, which is going to be username, like that. Then the next thing we want to do is to give it an ID. So let's give it an ID, which is going to be, the ID is going to be ID underscore username. Then the next thing is the value. Let's give it value, which is, we can just copy the value that we have here, or let me just write it. So I'll just say value is going to be, the value is going to be form dot username dot value, or if we have defaults, we can have, if there's no value, we're just going to have defaults like this, which is going to be an empty string, like that. So I'm definitely going to save that. And then our class name, so this our class name will still be the same thing. So let me just copy if form.error, these errors that we have here. I'll copy this and come here and paste it here, then save this. Then the next thing I want to check now, if form dot, instead of login error, username dot error, then form dot username, here form dot username dot errors, and I'm going to remove all this like that and put this picking that. So now the next thing, form dot username dot errors, then end if. Now the next thing we want to do is our email. Now label for, let's put this label, so I'll just say label for ID underscore email. Let's give it the same ID. So label for, and here is going to be ID underscore email, like that. Now the next thing after that, we are going to have our input. Now we have to give ID here too. So ID is going to be, ID is going to be ID underscore email, like that, and then type email placeholder. Then value, let me just copy this value, although we are going to just change it there. So the value is going to be this. Now it's going to be form dot email dot value. Now the next thing is required, and everything is still the same. Let's copy these form errors that we have here. So I'll copy this and paste this right here. Now if this place is going to be if form dot email dot errors, then we are going to have form dot email dot errors, then end if. Now let's go into our password now. So here label for the same thing, label for, I'll say ID underscore password, then ID here should be ID underscore password, then don't forget name should be password. Then after that, okay, I think that's all required. Then the confirm password too, we are just going to say label. Okay, before then, let's copy these errors as well. Then so here I'll just paste it here, and I'll say if form dot password 1. Now name here should be password 1 because this is the first password. Yes, this is the first password, and ID here should be password 1 and password 1. So if form dot password 1 dot errors, then form dot password 1 dot errors dot 0. Then after that, what we are going to do next, I think that is all for that. Now let's go into the confirm password. So I'll just say label for, let's say password ID underscore password 2, like that. Then here ID is going to be, let's say password id underscore password 2 as well. id underscore password 2, name should be password 2. This is the confirmed password 2, like that. Then the next thing, then placeholder required, everything is there. Now we just have to copy this form errors and paste it right here. Now here, instead of password 1, we have password 2 and form dot password 2 dot errors. Now that is all. Then this is our button for submit. I think that is all for that. Now the next thing we want to work on, all this we are going to now let's see. Now we are supposed to have a default for general form error message that is not particular to this field. Let's just have it up here before this CSR before this CSRF token, just general form errors. So I'm just going to say, okay, after this form, so I'll just say have your percentage, then if messages like error messages, then I'm just going to say if there is, I want to look through it for message in messages like this. And don't forget, we are going to end if and let's first end for, and also we are going to end if, like that. Now inside this end for, what we want to have is that we are going to have a div. So I have a div, the class is going to be bg, background color should be white, then we are going to give it a shadow of 2xl and it should be rounded, the background the rounded of 2xl. Don't worry about these utility classes. Padding 8 is just styling. The width should be full, and also max width should be md, like this. So after that, then I'll close my div tag. So inside this, we are going to have our error message actually, which is going to be the message like this. So I'll save this, and that is all for that. Now after that, I'm just going to have my div. So inside this, oh sorry, let me just write it very well. So I have my div like this, and then close the div tag. Then sorry, so inside this div, first I have this class. I want to use some Tailwind utility classes. So first, text green, then the variance should be 600, and text center should be centered, and let's give margin bottom to be 2, and inside we are just going to have the message like that, message. Then if we have non-field errors, if there is form dot non underscore field, sorry, dot non underscore field underscore errors. So if that exists, so I'm just going to have a p tag. So p, which the class is going to be text red 500, then text small and text center, and also margin bottom to be 4. So inside the p tag, we are going to have the form dot non field error, form dot non underscore field underscore errors. So after that, I have to end if again. So let me end if again. So end if. So I'll save this. So in the same way, I can just copy this and paste it in this my login.html before this form. So I'll paste it right here and save this as well. This form, this login own is quite different. Let me just remove this and start again. So I'll say percent if form dot non field underscore errors, then you have to end if. Now inside, I'm now going to say I'm going to loop through. Okay, before looping first, let's have this our div. So div and class, let's give you some class utility classes. So the first one, background should be red and the variance should be 100, very red. then we are going to have border red, and variance should be 400 as well. Then text red, then 700, and after that we are going to have padding x should be 4, and padding y should also be 3. Then rounded and also relative, then margin bottom should be 4. Then after that, let me close the div. So after that, inside I'm not going to have another if statement, that if, or no, I'm going to look through the error for error in form dot non field errors. So then I'll have my p tag, p, and the class, let's give it some class too. So the class should just be text small, like that. And inside we are going to have the error, and I'll close the p tag, and also I will end my for loop. So percentage end for, and after that we are ending if, like that. So with this we are done with that. Just see our browser and see what we have. So this is it. And if I come / sign up, although we have seen it before, sign up, and we have this. So let's just link this login page and sign up page together. So how can we do that? So dials down here in this place. So instead of reference like hashtag like this, I'm just gonna say percentage URL, and here I'm gonna say account underscore sign up. Save this and go to sign up, come down. So here is going to be linking to account underscore login. So percentage URL and then account underscore login, and save this as well. So going back to the browser and refreshing this. So let me just remove this first. So if I go to sign in, I'm linked here, sign up, sign in, forgot password, although we'll still work on these two later. So let me come back here. So now the next thing I want us to work on is this our sign in with Google and sign in with GitHub. Then we are going to test everything together. But before we continue, let's work on our dashboard.html. But as you can see, our dashboard is in this templates folder. But don't forget that we have this account here. So in this account, I'm going to create a new folder and call it templates, just like the way we normally do. So templates. So in this templates, I'm going to create a new file. Okay, no, let me just cut this. I'll cut this dashboard that we have here and paste it inside this templates folder in this account. So paste it here. So let me see. Let me cut this and paste it in this our templates folder. So it's inside there now. So now the next thing I want to do is let's define a custom view for this account. So I'll close this. So now, so here I'll open my views.py, and here the first view I'm gonna say define, let's say dashboard, like this. Then it's going to be a request. So inside I'm gonna return render, which is going to also be request. Now inside I'm just gonna get this dashboard.html. I go to my urls.py, and here I'm just gonna say from the current directory import views, like this. And here, so path, then let's say dashboard / like this, and then I'm just gonna say views.dashboard, and also let's give a name, put comma between this, and let's give a name dashboard. You know, we use, don't forget, in our settings.py, I go back to my settings.py, you are going to see this login redirect URL, which is set to dashboard. So it's correlating with this dashboard that we have here. So now if I go to my browser here, and instead of this I just say let's say account / dashboard, dashboard. Okay, it says page not found. Okay, let me remove this account that is here first. Let's remove this and let's go to slash dashboard. Now you see this dashboard page, we are seeing this, although it's not showing anything yet, but normally we are not supposed to see this without like login required. We want it to make it login required. So to do that, I'm just going to come here to my views and I'm going to put at login required mixing, at login underscore required. So first we have to import login required. So let me just type it here, login required, import login required, and then here I'm just going to pass it here at login underscore required and save this. So allow it to reload. Going back to the browser here, if I refresh, you see it says page not found because I'm not logged in yet. So now let's try to create an account. So I'll create an account from here. I'll refresh this. Let's refresh this. So let's say this, and I put in a password and also put in a password here and sign up. So this is creating, and this has logged us in and we're able to access this page. So the first thing is that welcome back username. Let's change this and let's change this email, login with this email. So let's just quickly work on our dashboard.html. So if I come here in this my dashboard.html, so the first one, this username, I'm just going to say user.username like this. Then you are logged in as, let's just say user.email, and what else? Okay, logout. Let's give a reference to here. I'm gonna say URL like this, and it to be account underscore log out. Then this profile, let's just leave this hashtag, yes, so since it's just for testing. So with this, going back to the browser and refreshing this, so you see welcome back and logged in as what, user 1, and you are logged in with. So let us log out. Let's work on this, our logout. Okay, say are you sure you want to log out? Yes, log out, but this is just, it's not working. Yes, so I'm just going to come back to this my code here. So in this place, so I'll look for my logout.html. So in this my logout.html, in this form, so here form method, so a form method should be posts like this, and then we have to give it action. So action is going to be percentage like this, URL, then account underscore logout. Then don't forget to have your CSRF token here, underscore token like that. So let me just remove this extra curly braces at the back and save this. Going back to the browser now, refreshing this, and if I click on yes logout, so it's going to log me out and come back to this my sign in page, and this is my sign up page. So, and this is like the error message, but there's still something that is wrong because the user one that is just giving me custom user is not using the email and the username that I use. Then there's something wrong that I have to check out. So let's do that now. So to solve that error, let's just come to the settings. There's one setting that I forgot to add, that is the authentication backend. So here I'm just going to say authentication underscore backend. So authentication underscore backend is going to be an array like this. Then inside, the first one is going to be django.contrib model backend. Then after that, we are also going to have another one which is going to be Django Allauth. This one is Allauth now. Allauth dot account dot auth underscore backends dot authentication backend. And then after this, I'm going to come up here. There's an error here. So this asterisk should not be in the form. It should be at the back of this. So I'll put this asterisk here, remove this also, and I'll put this asterisk here as well, and I'll also remove this and put the asterisk at the back. So remove this and put it at the back of this too as well, and save it. And also then I'm going to come down here and add a email backend. So I'll say email underscore backend, which is going to be, after this email backend is going to be Django. I'll have django.core.mail.backend.console.email backend like this. So normally because we are in our development, so that's why we are just using this Django core email. But in your production, you will set up your SMTP, Django, or any other mail service that you are using, and we are still going to use this email backend in our forget password, where we will have a default email set here, but we'll come back to that later. Then quickly let's go to our signup.html. So in this email part, I forgot to put name email, so please add that. So we are going to add this name to be email, and then after that in this my login.html too, so we have label for password is here, and with the id here is id underscore password. So here also should be id underscore password like this, and let me remove this. So we save this and allow it to reload. Okay, let's run server now. So I'm back at my browser now, so let's create a new user. So in this user, I'm just gonna say John. Let's say John, the username, and let's say the email is do@gmail.com, and let's set a password. So if you set a password and also set a password here, so now I click on sign up. So you see, now we have this our dashboard. So welcome back John, you are logged in with this your email, it gets our email. So this is a very beautiful project, and if I click on log out, yes, log out, it will log me out and log me back to this my sign in page. And from this my sign in page, if I try to log in with that email do@gmail.com and log in with my password, I click my period and click on sign in, it will sign me in as well, so I can sign in. So now we are basically done with how our login page, our user registration and authentication should work on. So the next thing we want to work on is this our sign in with Google and sign in with GitHub, and then we just quickly work on this forgot password. If you click on this forgot password, it will link you to this password we set, but we have not set it up properly yet, so we'll do that later. But let's quickly work on this Google, login with Google and login with GitHub. So let's start with the Google authentication first. So we go create a new browser and go to console.cloud.google.com. Create a new tab, then console.cloud.google.com. Now that you have logged into your Google Cloud, so now click on this place. Maybe you see a new project, but me, I have a social auth authentication. I'm currently working on this, so I can just click on this. So when you click on it, so click on new project. So click on new project, give it the new project a name. So let's just say social auth demo like that, and click on create. Okay, I think I already have that. I cannot put this character like this, so let's just create social auth demo like that. So now after that, so let me just change in to that social auth demo. So I'm going to change my own to this social auth demo. So you should have this social auth demo displayed on this like this on your own on your dashboard like this. So now the next thing we want to do is to enable the Google API. So I'm just going to come here, I'm going to come to this API and services and click on this. So allow it to load. So in this place, I'm going to enable the API and services. So click on this to enable it. So I'll click on this enable. So it's currently loading. So as you can see, I've enabled the API and services. So after that, you are going to click here, click on this nav bar and API and services, then go to these credentials and click on these credentials. So after you have clicked on the credentials, allow the page to load. So now the next thing we want to do is click on this create credentials and then OAuth client ID. Click on this. So allow it to load. Let me clear these messages. Now the next thing I want to do now is this application type. Click on web application. Now the name should be, give it a name. For example, we can just say social authentication. I'll put demo here. Now after that, I'll come down here. Now the next thing I want to add is this authorized redirect URL. So authorized redirect URL, and here be careful, take note of this. Now this is the URL I want to add to this. So http then // then we are going to have this Django port number, this 127.0.0.1, then 8000 /account /google /login /callback, like this, then /. So http 127.0, this Django port number /account /google /login /callback. Make sure you write everything correctly. Now the next thing I want to do, invalid redirect. Sorry for this. The reason for this is I don't need to add this colon that we have here. So make sure everything is done correctly. So after doing that, so I'm just going to click on create after that. So now the next thing is that we are given this client ID and this client secret. So make sure you copy these two, and we are going to need it. Copy your client ID and then copy this client secret as well. So I've copied them in my clipboard, Windows clipboard. So after then, click on OK. So with that, we are done with this. So now I'm just going to go back to my code now. So if you can see, you see OAuth client created successfully. So let's just go back to our code and test this out. So back in our codes now, what we want to do is that open up this terminal, then click on this, create a new terminal. Now, so we want to create a new super user. So I'm just going to create a new super user, and then we are going to configure our social account. Let me just show you what I want to do. So do python manage.py create super user just for our admin page. So then pick a username. So let's say username, I'm just going to say user. Okay, username, let me just use something else, or let's say user 001. Everything is already taken, sorry. So now let me just use, okay, my name, then username. So then email address, let's just use user@gmail.com, then password, input a password. So confirm password. So yes, don't mind it. So now we have successfully created a super user. Now if you come here, our server is still running. So I'm just going to go back to my browser here, and in this place I'm just going to go to my admin page. So /admin. So I'm going to go to Django admin page. So here I'm going to use the username that we used before. Let me just let me increase this. So let me remove this password as well. So the username, I think Ayomide01. Then password, I'll input my password, then login. So we are currently logging in. Something is not right. Please let me just quickly confirm the username and password that I used. I remember the password, but I forgot. The username is Ayomide12. So let me go back there. So here it should be Ayomide12, my name, and then the password. So password. Then click on login. So here we have logged in currently. If you notice, this is not like your usual Django admin. So as you can see, you see that this our Django admin, it has another tab right here, which is the social account. So this is where we configure our social account. So click on this social applications. So click on this social application and add social application. So for example, we already have one here, Google. So click on Google. Now the provider ID is still Google. So just write Google right there. Now name, let's just give it Google as well. Now the next thing is our client ID. Don't forget the client ID that we copied. So our client ID, so this is the client ID. I'll paste it there. Now the secret key, don't also forget the secret key. This is how the secret key looks like. Then you can leave the key. But if we go back here, there's supposed to be another section here that should be site that is not here. And the reason is because in our installed app, we did not add that contrib.site in our installed app. So let us go and do that. And before we do that, remove this Google, the provider ID, just let it be empty like that. And then go back to our code here. So in this, if I come back to settings.py, in this my installed app, so here after this part, I'm going to have another one, which is Django.contrib.site like this, and then save it. Then make sure our server is still running. So let me come down here to see if the server is still running. Okay, then put your comma to make sure it does not break. So it's reloading, so let's just confirm. So everything is running well. Okay, we have two unapplied migrations, so let's quickly apply those migrations. So I'll say python manage.py migrate. Now, since we're having inconsistency in our migration history, the best way to do this, although we can still set it by just managing the conflicts in our DB, but I'm just going to tell you the best way to solve this is just to, since we don't have any real information in our, what's it called, we don't have any real information in our project yet, so we can just delete this our database and start create a new database. So I'm just going to delete this. Sorry for this is actually my error, so I'm sorry for this. I'm going to delete this database. So then I'm going to start as if I want to create a new database. It will not do anything, just that all those users that we have created before will be gone. So we have to create a new user. So I'm really sorry for this. So I'm just going to say python manage.py migrate, or let me first say migrate first. Let's migrate it first. So python manage.py migrate. So this is going to create a new database for us, including everything that we need. So it's creating everything and running everything as we want. So let me see, python manage.py make migrations. So I think this should say no changes detected. So then we have our new database here back. So I'm just going to run server, python manage.py run server. So now here, let me just come here, and in this place another terminal, that's what I mean. So let's create a new super user. So python manage.py create super user, because that one is gone actually. So create super user. So this one, I'm just going to say user email address user@gmail.com, then password, I'm going to input a password again. So I'll say, let me remove everything, I think I made a mistake, password, then yes. So now we have created a new super user and our server is still running here. So I'm just going to click this and go to the browser. But before we go to the browser, so here let me just add something here, site_id, a query. So I'm just going to put one first. So we are going to confirm that later. So just make sure you add this site_id one, because of this Django contrib site that we put there, we have to put a query. So then I'm going to go to my browser. I'm going to go to this browser, and if I /admin here, so I'm going to come back to this my admin Django admin page, and don't forget your password and your username and your password. So and then log in. So after you have logged in, so let's just do what we did before, these social applications. So then I'm going to click on add social application. So here I have Google as my provider. Name, leave the provider ID. Name also should be Google like this. Then the client ID, paste the client ID that we copied before. Sorry, don't forget my clipboard is messed up, but this is my client ID here, and my client secret key, I'm going to paste it as well. So my client secret key, where is it? I think this is my client secret. Then leave this key and setting. Now another important place where we need to work on is this our site. So that is the reason why we add all those django.contrib site and the site underscore id in our settings.py. So here we are going to add a new site. So let me just add another one here like this. So the domain name, so in this create a new site, the domain name is going to be localhost 8,000 like this, and the display name should be localhost. So I'm going to save this, and we are going to have this right here in this place. So then I'm going to click on save. So we have successfully configured this Google social authentication. So let's just test this in our app if it's going to work. So to do that, I'm going to go into this my login.html. Let me close this. So come back to this our social account here. So in this place, so as you can see, this is the Google own, and this is the reference. Let me just say here in this reference here, so if you see Google here, and this is the GitHub own. So in this my Google own, I'm just going to add this percentage. Oh, sorry, where is it again? So I'm right here. So I'm going to add this percentage. So I'm going to say URL, and I'll have, so before this URL is going to be provider underscore login underscore URL. So and here I'm just going to pass in Google right here like this. So before this place, let's just add something so that we can be able to identify it. So I'll say social account login. This is just a comment, login buttons, so that you can understand, you can know the section of the page like that. So here just add this provider underscore login underscore URL Google, then save this, and let's go to our browser to check it out. So here if I just run my browser and account login, let me refresh this. Okay, I'm logged in as user because of my admin page, so let me log out. So it will, oh, we're having error with this. We are saying does not, no exception message, no exception message supplied, and it's flagging this for us. So let's quickly check it out. So to fix this error, let us log in back to our admin page. So user, and then put in your password. So to log in back to our admin page, and then click on log in. So after you have logged in, come back here in this place. Make sure, I think I did not add this example.com to this place before, so make sure you click on this. I think you have something like localhost 8,000 and example.com here, so make sure you add this example.com into this place like this. So after you have added it, make sure it's everything localhost 8,000 and example.com, and click on save like this. So if I click it again, I'm still having this example.com and localhost 8,000, so click on save like this. So now another thing is that the order at which this thing appears matters. So we're having example.com as first and localhost 8,000 as second. So if you see it now, let me show you. We are still going to have an error here. So if I come to this my app here and refresh this page to tell me, because I've logged in my admin, so that's why I'm having this. So if I log out, and yes, log out, and I click on this sign in with Google, it should work now. As you see this this one we have down here. So if I click on sign in with Google, so I have this sign in via Google. No, I was even expecting an error, but fortunately it works. So but I have this page before we can continue. So if I click on continue, it will take me to my Google account. Now we're having this access block. This app request is invalid. The reason why we're having this error, I'm very sorry for this again, is because of redirect URI mismatch. So how can we solve this? So now it's just very easy. So I'm just going to go back to my Google account. I hope you have not closed that page. So I'm going to go back to this my social accounts, this my Google Cloud Console, and go to this OAuth in your credential. You should see this social authentication demo, your own. So just click on this edit OAuth client. So if you click on this edit OAuth client, so our redirect URI, so here we're having accounts, but if you noticed in my browser, I have, let me show you here, I have accounts slash, if you look at it, let me show you, account slash login. So look at it, if I say login with Google, I'm having accounts, there's no S right here. So to solve this, I'm just going to come back here, remove this S that we have here, and click on save. So everything is OAuth client saved. So if I come here again and refresh this, then I click on continue, so their error should go. You see, now I can now choose an account and I can sign in with Google. So with this now, I've signed in with Google. If I click on continue, so it will sign me in with Google in our app. So welcome back, and it gets my username and my user from just my Google account. So you see how beautiful this is. So now, but if you noticed, we're having a confirmation page before we enter this sign in with Google. Let me show you again. Let me log out again. So yes, log out. And if I click on login with Google, I'm having this page before logging with Google. I don't want this page to appear. I just want to log in with Google directly. How can we do that? So let's solve this error quickly. It's not an error. Let's just solve this quickly. So to do that, I'm going to go back to this my settings.py. So after this place or anywhere, just add this. So I'll just add social accounts like this underscore login underscore on underscore get equal to true like this. So and after this, make sure you save this. So this is just going to prevent that extra verification step before we log in. So social account underscore login underscore get equal to true. So after you have had this social account login on get, let's run our server. So python manage.py run server. So then after you make sure your server is running, then go back to our browser here. So in this my browser, so let me go to /login like this. So and click on sign in with Google. It's just going to go to that Google authentication page directly without that extra confirmation. Okay, let me log out first. Yes, log out, and I click on sign in with Google. Oh, sorry, it's because my Google account is already configured. So in your own app, it should actually maybe probably show you that continue. I opened an incognito tab just to show you. So now my Google account is not logged in yet. So if I click on sign in with Google, you should go to that Google authentication page, this continue with my Google account, and click on continue to show that it's not asking for that extra verification before we continue. So that's just what I want to show you, to show you that that is actually working. Now the next thing, let me close this. So the next thing that I want to work on is let me log out. So if I log out and yes, log out, so my login with Google is working perfectly. The next thing I want to work on is sign in with GitHub. So this one is not working yet, so we have to work on that. Let's do that now. I'm going to go to this browser, github.com/settings/developers like this. So I'll access this, sorry, https://github.com. Oh, look at it, I didn't spell my GitHub very well. So github.com/settings/developers. So then in this place, so click on new auth demo. So your application name, let's say social auth demo 1, because I already have one there. Now this your home page URL, just put this like this, and this your http one, this Django port number. Now in this our authorization callback URL, so it's just like the same way, http 127.0.0, this is what we have here. Now instead of having Google here, we have github/login/callback, and don't forget to remove the S that we have here, is account like this, account/github/login/callback, and click on register application, and that is all. So here we are going to copy our client ID and our client secret. So we are going to generate a new client secret. So let's copy this client ID first. you copy this, then generate a new client secret. So after I have generated a new client secret, we are going to copy this client secret again. So then I'm going to go into my admin page. Let me look at it, localhost 8000 /admin. So let me just say /admin, or you can do 1.27.0 /admin, anyone that you want. So I'll log into my admin page again. So I'll say user and my password before. So login. So it's logging me in, and I'll create a new social application. Click on social applications. So then add social application. Here now click on GitHub. Name also should be GitHub, like that. Then your client ID, paste your client ID here. This is the client ID. Client secret, paste the client secret, which is this. And in this our site, you click on this, add this, and also add this. So make sure you add that, then add this as well, and click on save. So let's look at it again. So we can, it's already okay like this, so we save this. So how can we, so this is not the only two social authentication you can add. You can also add Facebook. You just go to facebook.developer, then create a new social authentication. So for anyone that you want, so for this video I just use Google and GitHub. So to confirm, to make sure this GitHub is working, to confirm it, let's go to our code here. So in this my login.html, so in this our social account login buttons, just like what we have here. So I'll copy this like this, and paste it in this GitHub place. Instead of this hashtag, I'll paste it inside, but instead of Google, it's going to be GitHub like this. So, and save this, make sure everything is running, then go back to our browser, and let's just say let me go to my login page. So it's currently loading, and here if I click on sign in with GitHub, you see I can now sign in with my GitHub account. And if I just say authorize this my GitHub account, if I authorize this, it's going to sign me in as, you see, you are being redirected to the authorized application. It's going to redirect me to my app now, and then it's going to sign me in. So let's just leave that as that. So now, since we are done with our sign in and login, we are done with our authentication and authorization in general. So let us now work on this forgot password. So let us work on this reset your password, and let us work on how you can set forgot password in your app. So let's do that now. So I'm going to go back to my code right here. So now here I've already don't forget that we have already cloned the GitHub files that contains all these password resets HTML. So just click on this password underscore resets.html. So start from this. So the first thing you want to get is that if there's any messages, you should print it up here. So I'll say if messages, I'll save this so you can arrange it for me very well. Then if there's messages, then I want to loop through it. So I'll say for message in messages like this. Then I will end if, and then end for. Let me end for before ending if. So end for loop like this. So inside I'm going to have our message like this. So I'll have my message like that. But before having a message, so it's going to be in a p tag. So let me just open a p tag and close the p tag right here. So p tag close like that. So, and inside we're going to have a class. Now the class name is going to be text green 600. Don't forget we are using Tailwind. Then text center, and then we are going to give it margin bottom of 2 like that. So with this, I think we are done with that. Now the next thing here, form method should be post. Then we are going to give it action. The action here is going to be account underscore reset underscore password. So account underscore reset underscore password like that. Now type email, name email, and everything is still the same like this. Then we are going to have before this place, after this place, we are going to have non-field errors. So if we have, so if form dot non-field errors, so we are going to have the we are going to have a p tag. Let me just copy this. Let me see. So copy this what we have here and paste it there. But instead of this green, it's going to be red, and here is going to be 500. It's still going to still be text center, and then text small like this, text center. Then after that, we are going to have the form dot non-field errors like that, and save this like that. And then don't forget, we have to close our p tag. We have to close the p tag, and then end if like this. Now the next thing we want to do is that we want to work on this. Okay, we have this button type submit, everything is working, but now I want to work on field errors. If there's a form dot field errors after this input tag, so after this tag, so I'm going to say percentage, put your curly braces. So if form dot field dot email dot errors, so I'm just going to copy, let me paste that p tag that we have here, but here is going to be red 500, text center. Now we are going to say text xs, like extra small, something like that. Then margin top should be 1, and then we're going to have the form dot email. So form dot email dot errors and 0, put the to get the first error there. So with this we'll save, and also we put another p tag here. Let us remove that and save this. So everything is working well, so I think we're okay. Now let's come down here. So remember your password, then in this reference we are going to send you back to the login page. So just put like this, and then we are going to have URL and account underscore login like this, so that you can log in back to the page. So let's go to our browser now. So if I come back to my browser and refresh this page, okay, we're having template syntax error on close tag if. So we didn't end, okay, if form, we have to end if here. So let's come here in this place after this p tag. So we have to end our if statement, sorry, end if, and save this. Then going back to the browser here, refresh this page. So we have this. So when you put on something that is not correct, so let's say at, the reason why we're having this error is because we did not configure the account, the form action very well. So let me just show you what I'm saying. So if I come here in this my form method post, look at what we did. This is so wrong, totally wrong. Let's just change this. So here I'm going to have curly braces like this, sorry, then URL, and inside I'm not going to have account underscore reset password. Then after that, don't forget we have to add our CSRF token, CSRF underscore token, and then save this. So with this now, if I save this and allow this to refresh, okay, going back to our browser and coming back here, refreshing this page and putting in email, send our reset link, and you see it says check your email. If an account exists for the email you entered, you have sent a reset link to your password. Now the thing is that in this project we are not going to use, like, we are not going to send it to our actual email, because of, like, we have to, there's a long process for that. We have to set up your SMTP or your email port and others. So all those ones we don't need it. But to just show you how this can work, I'm just going to send an email to my backend. So using Django email backend. Let me show you. So I'm back at my browser here now. Look at the email that is sent to my backend. So look at it, from webmaster at localhost to the email that I entered. Hello from localhost, you are receiving this email because you or someone else has requested a password reset. And if you click this link, it's going to link you to the password reset page. Look at it, it's going to link us to that page now. Reset your password. So here, this is the page where you can reset your password. But normally, it's supposed to be sent to your email. That mail that we have in this backend can be sent to your email if you configure. Instead of using this email backend, we just use like email host, SMTP, and all that. But that's a long process. We don't need that for this video. But let me just change one thing. So let me change my default underscore from underscore email like this. I'll just say no, let me say no reply at gmail.com. So with this now, instead of having this from webmaster at localhost, we are going to be having no reply at gmail.com. So let's try that now. So if I save this and make sure this thing is running very well. So let me run server again. So I'm currently running the server. So okay. So now if I come back to my let's come here. So if I come back here and I put a new email, let's say user@gmail.com, these are just for test anyway. So user@gmail.com, send recent link. So if you check our email backend, our terminal here, we're going to have another email. So look at it. So see, from who? No reply at gmail.com and to user@gmail.com, and this is the email and this is the reset link. So now let's just work on this password. We are done with this password reset.html. Now let's work on this password reset from key.html. So let's work on this now. If you have entered this your password resets from key.html, so first thing first, let's just first remove all these comments that we have here. So I'll remove this and remove this. So let's allow this to work very well and remove this as well. So now the first thing, after you reset your password, now we want to have a condition here. So I'll say if token underscore fail. So if the token fails, we are going to have this error message. So this error message that we have here, let me remove this one. So if token fail, we are going to have this, like the password reset link is invalid or has expired. Then we are going inside this, we are going to have a link to our, let me put my curly braces, then it's going to be URL. It's going to return you back to the account reset password, account underscore reset password link. Then it's going to request, we are going to have that request a new link there and the closing div there. Now, but else if it doesn't, so else we are going to have this form method, this form that we have here. So here I'm going to put form method to be posts, like this form method should be post, and don't forget we are going to give action, form action, which is going to be, the form action is going to be action underscore URL, like this, action underscore URL, like that. So now after that we are going to have this don't forget CSRF token, very important. So CSRF underscore token, and then we are going to have if form, if we have if form dot non-feed errors, then so let me just come back to where is it called, password reset.html. So I can just copy the if form dot non-feed error, something this, let's copy this and copy and paste it right here. So I'll paste it here, so and save this. So if there is if form dot non-feed errors, we are going to have this instead of p tag here, let's make it a div. So I'll say div, then the class here is going to be background bg, background should be red and the variance should be 100, then text should be red and the variant of the red should be 700, padding should be 3, then we are going to have a rounded border with MD, then we are also going to have text small, and then I can remove this text center and this margin button should be 3, like this, then saving this. So now if form does non-feed errors, okay, then we have this background, then we have the form non-feed error, inside. Now before this form does not feed errors, so let me just remove this first. Sorry, let's close this. So now I want to say, I'll have this my curly braces, and I'll say for error in form dot non-field errors, like that. So if there's an error there, so I'll call my p tag p and close the p tag, then close my p tag here. So I'll just pass in my error inside like that and save this. So then after this error, I'm going to end my for loop. So end for, and at the end of this p tag I will end my if statement. So then inside this example of showing a non-field error, so then I don't need this. Actually, let's remove this. We don't need this and save. So we have this our div type password, then we have to give this name should be password1. You know, once you reset your password, name should be password1. Then we have this placeholder required, we have this class there. Then if there is a form.error, so let me remove this example here, then I'll remove this, what we have here, remove what we have here. So now in this place I'll say, put my curly braces, if form dot password1 dot errors, then don't forget to end your if here, so end if, then inside this password we are just going to have password form dot password1 dot errors like this. I'll say form dot password1 dot errors dot 0 to pick the first error that is there. But actually what this will do is just that it's going to pick, for example, if your password has just one, like 5 errors, it's just going to pick the first one. Maybe let's say your password is too short, it's too common, or you must have a special character. It may just say it's too short. But now let's just look through the possible all the errors that you have, and it should list everything. So how can we do that? So inside this place, instead of just passing the first one, I'll just say for error in form dot password1 dot errors like this, and then I'll pass in error inside this curly braces like this, error, and then end for, after, so I will end my for loop right here. So percentage end for like this and save. So then after the end for, we have our end if. Then after that we have another one which is here, the confirm password. So don't forget to give it a name, and it's going to be password2 in this case. So password2, replace with that required. Then let's just copy this what we have here. So if there is an error here, so after, when did we post it, after the input, okay, I'm just going to paste it right here like this. So now instead of password1, I'll say password2 and then password2 like that and save it. So that is that. Then we have this button submit change password. I think we are done with that. Then after the end of the form, we have to end the if. So I'll say end if like this and then save our project. So before we continue, instead of there's a mistake here. I want to close this div tag, so now I put p here. So it should be / div like this and then save it. So with that, I think we are done with this page. So let's go into the password reset from key done. This one, password reset from key done.html. So this is a very simple page. So the first thing we just want to look at is this. So we have this password changed successfully, your password has been changed. Then go back to, we just want to change this URL, go back to login. So it's going to be percentage, then URL, and then login, account underscore login like that. So that is that. So with that, I think we are done with that. So let's go into the last one, is password reset done.html. So the same way, we just want to go back to the login page. So here I'll just say percentage, then URL and account underscore login. So I'll save this, then go back to my browser here. So let's just start from beginning now because we are done. So I'll come back here. So let's start from accounts slash sign up. So I want to create a new account. So let's say user 001, email user at gmail.com, password, put a password, a very good password, and then confirm the password, and then click on sign up. Okay, the username, a user is already registered. This is the non-field errors. I'm sorry, this is the field errors here. You see the user is already registered with this email. So let's just change it to like user like this, and then the password, pick a very good password, a very strong password, so that it will not complain for you. So with this now, I'm just going to create a new user. So sign up. So now we have created a new user and we are automatically logged in like this, user 001 and user 12 at gmail.com. So if I click on logout, yes, logout, then I want to log in. You know, we said user 12 abi at gmail.com, that's the email, and the password now, let's say I forgot the password, then sign in. So let's see, the email address and or password you specified are not correct. So I forgot my password. So for example, I forgot my password. All those messages before were those ones that we were trying before. So now let's say I forgot my password. Now I want to reset my password. So user12 at gmail.com, send recent link. So check your email. If an account exists for the email you entered, you have sent a link to your to reset your password. So now let me go back to login and come back to my terminal here and check my email down here. So I've been sent, let me show you, I've been sent a password reset link to this my email, and this is it. So I'll just click this link, then it's going to take me to this password reset link. Then I'm going to change my password to another new password, and then confirm the password that you change it to, then change password. So password change, your password has been changed, has been successfully updated. You can now log in using your new password. So go to login, don't forget user12 at gmail.com, and I want to log in with my new password now, then sign in. So it's signing me in, and now I'm signed in. So to see that we have completed a very fully functional user authentication and authorization in Django with social authentication and password reset or your forgot password. This is one of the few tutorials you can see on YouTube that will talk about all these areas that we've done on this project. So now, but there's only one thing that we have not done. Let me log out first and click on yes, log out. In this my sign up page, let me remove this. So in this my sign up page, this one is still hashtag and this one too is still hashtag. Let's just change that now. So let's come to this our code here and remove this down. So let's go to our signup.html in this place. So in our this is where we're coming to. So this one is for Google and this one is for GitHub. So here I'm just gonna say put your percentage, then don't forget we are going to say what, let me check login.html to just copy this from Google first, login provider underscore login Google, and I'll paste it here, paste, then come here, copy this one and paste it here like this and save. So with this, if I come back to our browser here and refresh this page, and if you over on this, you see Google login, that is actually working. You see I can click on this to log me in or sign me in with Google or sign in with GitHub, in which it will, let's see, it's going to the GitHub page. So this one already automatically signed me in to GitHub because I've signed in before. So let me log out. I think let's just check everything. Is there anything that we have not done? Sign up, sign in. So that's all. We are done with this project. So thank you for watching this video. If you learned something new or if you find this video helpful, please like this video, and most importantly, please subscribe to this channel, and thank you as you subscribe. Thank you for watching.